It was in 2009, sometime in April, if you remember, where there was this big Ketam tragedy, the Pulau Ketam tragedy, where the residents started dumping dogs to neighboring islands, because they had this massive overpopulation of stray animals, stray dogs in Pulau Ketam. So the residents didn't know what to do with it. So they captured the dogs and they dumped the dogs, and they've been doing this for years until somebody highlighted it. So it was a big tragedy in the whole country actually. And it made me realize that what happened in Pulau Ketam can also happen anywhere else. The reason is stray animals will breed uncontrollably because they can't practice birth control obviously. So they breed. Like for example, cats will breed 4 times a year. And each time they breed they give birth to at least 3 kittens. Dogs will breed twice a year. And if you talk about street dogs, they can go up to maybe even 12 puppies. 8 to 12 puppies each time. So it's easy to understand why there will be an overpopulation of animals. And when you have this overpopulation of street animals, what happens is many humans are not tolerant of their existence, right? They find them a nuisance, they find them a pest. For example, some people even complain that the cats sleep on top of their cars, the dogs poo in their garden, digs the rubbish bin. So what happens in our country is that people complain, but they don't realize that the moment they complain, the local councils will react, and local councils catch them. And for those people who complain, they see that their problem is solved. Once the animal is removed, they think it's solved. But what happens to the animals after that? They'll be sent to the pound. And in the pound, they only get to live on maybe a few days or a few weeks. And then if nobody claims them, of course nobody claims them because they're street animals, they'll be euthanized. So it's very sad. But this problem can be easily solved if people understand that they can help the animals by getting them neutered. Just get them neutered, then you stop the breeding once and for all. And this has been practiced in other countries. We don't need to look far, even in Singapore it's very successful. Neuter the animals. Now after neutering, there are 2 things we can do. Find them a home if we can, but let's be realistic, we cannot always find them homes, right? The shelters are full. Just look at our shelters here, they're full. So what they do in some countries is that after neutering, they return to the colony, return to the same place. The benefit of returning to the colony is that the animal has already survived there. It's its natural habitat. It will carry on living there, but it will not breed anymore. So neutering stops the breeding. So because, you see, I know of many people who are very kind to street animals and they feed the animals. Whether they buy food, they buy dry food, or they cook extra, they feed the animals. So they already spend so much on their money feeding the animals. To get them neutered is extra finances, and it's not cheap to get an animal neutered, it's 100 plus just to get an animal neutered. So I wanted to provide this gap, where feeders need, feeders are people who already feed the animals. Number one, they need the education. They need to know that besides feeding, you have to neuter them as well. Because if you don't neuter them, they will keep breeding. So if you're only feeding 10 cats, in about 1 year, you could be feeding 20 or even 30 cats because they breed. They breed very fast. So education is needed to tell these feeders that the animals need to be neutered as well. That education is needed. Funds are needed to help them. Because sometimes these feeders are not people who are very well off, They could be like retired older people and so on. They could be students, so they need the money. So I started this fund on actually 31st May 2009, and my target was to raise money to help pay for the neutering of these animals. But it got so popular because of the publicity. We instead of paying for neutering, besides paying for neutering, we also started paying for medical treatment, because some of these animals get injured on the street and they need treatment. Some of them are afflicted by diseases, they need treatment. So very quickly from neutering, we started giving sponsorship for medical treatment as well. And when I first started, I had no experience at all in running a charity, absolutely zero experience. So I didn't dare to be ambitious. So I was hoping that I can help 10 animals per year, because even if you help 1 animal, you've already stopped the breeding, you see. So in other words, you've already stopped and helped countless of sufferings on the street. So my silent target was, hopefully I can help 10 animals per year through their rescuers. But the publicity was so good, And the generosity of the people was so good that in that first year, we actually managed to help 660 animals. So that's way above our target, right? So we helped 660, and not only did we help them in neutering and medical treatment, we also helped them find homes. And how we help is just to publicize on the internet. The internet is fantastic. You know, you take their photograph, you write the story, because I have a blog. So I write the story, how this animal has been rescued and so on, who would like to give this animal a home. So just by publicizing like that, you know, not doing physical adoptions. You know, physical adoptions they have in the mall, they bring the animals there. I find that very stressful for the animals. So we publicize through the internet, we use the media. And even by doing that, we managed to find homes for some of the animals, not all, but some, right? So that's how we started off. Right now, we've helped about 2,000 animals. It's only been 3 years. I am promoting this one street CNRM. It's a concept, one street CNRM. CNRM, C stands for care. So you must start by caring. You must have the attitude where you want to care for them. Otherwise, you wouldn't do anything for them. So care for the street animals, C. N is to get them neutered. That's where we come in and help by providing funds. So that's N. R is rehome, which is ideal. We try and rehome them. If we cannot rehome them, we return, which is not ideal, but what to do if we cannot find them home, so we return them. And M, we continue to manage. Manage means we still look after them. So it's a simple concept whereby, let's just say there are 5 strays living outside here, and I'm only proposing just take care of your street. If you can't take care of your street, half your street, 1/4 in front of your house, at the back of your house, just take care of those animals. And if everyone does their part, you're already helping many animals. So I'm not too ambitious like asking people, oh, go all out and do your entire housing area. Just do your street or in front of your house, at the back of your house. So say there are 5 stray cats living in my back alley. Feed them, make friends with them, get them neutered, and you only have to take care of 5. And the advantage of returning to the colony is that animals have a territorial behavior, you know, where they take care of their space. It's a bit like humans also. This is my house, you do not come in. We build gates and fences. Animals do not. So they have this boundary. This is my space, you don't invade my space. So when you have 5 cats living in your back alley, you get them neutered, you return them. Instead of putting them elsewhere, you return them. They're very comfortable living there. They will continue living there, and they will prevent other strays from coming in. You see, that's how you solve the problem, you know. And you only have to look after 5 for the rest of their lives. And we're talking about 20 years. If you really look after a cat, it can go up to 15 to 20 years. So for the next 15 and 20 years, you only have to look after 5. That's all. You have to feed 5. You already got them neutered. If they're sick, provide medical treatment. That's where we come in and help again. Because our medical fund is to provide the neutering fee and medical treatment. And when I first started in 2009, I was quite ambitious. So we had 6 panel vets. So I went to speak to these vets. I told them my idea. They were very supportive, and they were willing to give a discount for the fee, provided these are street animals, not pets. It's only for street animals. So I was coping with 6 panel vets every day after work, driving there to see to the cases, to pay bills and all that. But the blog really reached out to the whole country. And people from other states started writing in and saying, what about us? You're only helping the Klang Valley. What about us? We need help too. So I need to revise my scheme. So early this year, we did away with panel vets, and we opened up to everyone in Malaysia. So right now, we have applicants from Sarawak, from Kedah, from Perlis, from Johor. We have applicants from the whole country. So I cannot have panel vets anymore, because if I do, I'll have to go out to every state, you know, every town and get panel vets. So what we do now is you choose your own vet, but we provide a subsidy. We no longer sponsor in full. Previously, we paid in full, the full thing, the full fee, so it was free. But now we have a subsidy rate. So we've come up with a standard rate, and everybody gets the same subsidy. So for example, you bring in a female cat, we give you 100 ringgit for the neutering fee. So if the vet that you choose charges 120, you pay 20, we pay 100. If your vet charges 100, we give you the whole 100. But if your vet charges lower than that, of course, it's the lower one. You cannot make money out of this, right? So that's the way we've been functioning now, and we managed to reach out to the whole of Malaysia. And every month, we do an average of 50 to 60 cases. The applicants come in. So there's a very simple procedure. They just need to take a photo of the animal and send it to me and say, I would like to get this animal neutered. It can be a dog or a cat. And we approve it. Within the same day, we will approve it. And they choose their own vet. So they get it done. They need to pay first, send me the original receipt with a form with all the details, and we reimburse them. We also introduce a food fund. So we also have a food fund where we help really, really needy rescuers. There are lots of people who feed many, many animals. Yes, and there are some who actually take in the animals into their home, you know. They are that compassionate. So some of these people need funds, even for food. So we have a food fund as well now. So the food fund is actually quite stringent because if everybody applies for the food fund, we'll run out of fund in no time. So we're quite strict with that. So we need to do a background check. We need to visit and all that to make sure it's really genuine. So right now there are 6 people under this food fund. So we provide them food on a monthly basis or whenever they need. But we have done background checks from them. They are really genuine rescuers. And there are also some criteria they have to meet, you know. They must neuter all the animals. They must really take care of the animals. They vaccinate because they have so many. When you have so many animals in the same place, you need to vaccinate. Otherwise, when one gets sick, it will really spread. This is the first book that I wrote. It's my own experience. I want to share my own experience because the message that I want to reach out to people is that you can be one person with a dream, one person with a hope, and you can do a lot. Because many people think that you need to be a big group or part of a big organization before you can do things, but that's not true. Even as one person, you can start something. If you have the passion for it, you can start something. So that's the purpose of my first book, just to tell people what one person can do. This was my rescue work. Actually, I wrote this before I started AnimalCare. So this is to tell people what one person can do. And after that, after I started AnimalCare, the blog has actually been very effective because we have people, individuals like me, who read and understand how I started AnimalCare and so on, and they also want to start their own, in their own towns. So I find that very, very encouraging. Actually, that is my purpose. I don't intend to expand AnimalCare, you know. I don't intend to have branches all over the place because when you have that, there are more people involved and control is very difficult. Managing people is actually very difficult. So I prefer to keep this small. I will run it the way I'm running it as long as I can, but more importantly, I hope other people will copy the model. I always encourage them, just copy how I run it and do it in your own place, because if I can do it, a person with zero experience, if I can do it, and in 3 years we've helped almost 2,000 animals, so can you. You just have to copy my model. So right now, there's one lady in Batu Pahat, she's copying the model. She's using my same model and starting small over in Batu Pahat. So that's very encouraging. There's another person in Puchong also who says he wants to start it. So actually that is the best, you know. Because if people everywhere start off the same thing, then we can help more.
I'm actually a volunteer with Dr. Chan, my AnimalCare organization, which actually helps in the neutering and spaying, as well as medical subsidies for the stray animals in Malaysia. And we've just started actually being actively involved and helping Dr. Chan for the past 1 year, not too long actually, because we were previously from Penang, and we came down to KL and we picked up our current 4 cats. Are actually 3 has been rescued from the streets and 1 was rescued from the vet. And from then, we kind of developed our care for stray animals and street animals, and we start to actually help to do some rescue work and take animals for spaying and return them to the colony, or actually finding them homes, advertising them up for adoption. So me and my husband has been, we have been actively doing this, and we are very involved in it. We feel very strongly towards the plight of the stray animals of Malaysia. So we try our best to actually make a difference, even if it's one life at a time, one day at a time?
Actually, I started because my wife was very involved with this, with animals. I personally wasn't much of an animal person. I had dogs all my life. My parents always had a dog, in our family. We had hamsters, but they were just kind of like, I'll pet them, okay, arm's length kind of a relationship. But getting to know her, and through her, Dr. Chan, we've actually done quite a bit of rescue work as well. And you can actually see the impact of the, what you do for that one life. That the thanks that sometimes it's non-verbal, but it comes back to you, through the way they look at you. Sometimes even for example, we've actually let go of some trapped pests, okay? But because sometimes they die a pretty horrible death. But I think the impact is sometimes when you let an animal, you save an animal's life, the gratitude they show towards you is so much more than any human can ever give you.